All right. So all I've got here is hook with a gold bead on it. Glass bead. I'll start my thread. Just to there is fine. I'm going to take, you can use anything, wood duck, grizzly hackle, whatever, but something with a little bit of some barred effect to it. I think looks better for tails. So I'm going to pull some of this off. And the length I want is about the length of the, from the eye to the hook point. That's what I want, kind of hanging off the back there. That'll work just fine. Okay, next I'm going to take some, I use lateral scale because I think it looks better than just regular, the Mylar tinsel, but I use lateral scale. I'm going to tie in one piece of this, and I'm just going to do basically, you just want to keep it centered on the spine of the fly. Okay, and then I use ultra wire and ginger for the ribbing. I'm going to tie that in next. And then when you tie this in, you don't tie it all the way back to the tail. You tie it just short of the tail. And I'll show you why. Right there is fine. And then I pull it down just to the corner there. Okay. And then now's when you want to build some taper and make sure you've got all your under material covered up. So, not a crazy taper, just a little bit. And then just helicopter this off. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Mylar, lay it up over the spine, and I'm going to come, if I can grab it, and I'm going to capture it. See, that's why I didn't go all the way back, because I want to capture that. Not, oh, how can I do this? I want to capture it in front and start the first rib up here. I don't want to capture it right at the beginning of the tail. Pull that. Grab another one. Pull that. Grab another one. And you should be able to fit 4 in before you're going to start worrying about getting it covered up by the thorax. Okay, so capture both of those with a couple thread wraps. And you got to be careful about getting too much thread going up here, because you don't want to cover this bead too much when you're doing all this. So next I use some size 10 of the Mylar, so a thicker Mylar than I use for the back. I'll just take a piece off. I'm going to tie that right down the back. About there. I'm going to trim off that extra piece. Just like that. Now I'm going to use some I need dubbing. Oh, there it is. Alright. This is just all-purpose rabbit dubbing. And I'm just going to use some brown. Okay. And then okay, and then you're going to start with that. As it goes up. Okay, and then you're just going to make your thorax out of that dubbing and kind of build that up a little bit. Just like that. You can go a little thicker. I'll go just a couple more. I want a nice distinction between the abdomen and the thorax, so I'm going to make that just a little bit thicker. That'll work. See, I'm already starting to crowd that bead. Not good. Alright, and then you're going to do, oh, what's this called? I can't remember. I'll think of it in a second. But anyways, you're going to use this stuff for the legs. And basically all I do is just take one strand, cut it in half, lay them side by side like this, and then I'm going to secure it right behind the bead coming off of one side, and then grab it coming off the other side, just like that, and that's all it takes. Just a couple wraps. Again, doing my best not to crowd what's going on up here. And then I'm going to take that number 10 Mylar, come up over top, and make sure I give a little bit of tension because I want this to seat down behind that bead. Okay. Okay, so from there, I'm going to get this out of the way, leave that just a little long for a second. Then I'm going to get my whip finisher. And that's it. Okay. So I'm going to trim that. I can't ever get close enough with knife on this Mylar, so I'll use a blade, and what I'll do is I'll just pick this up and scalp it. Just like that. Okay. And then the legs, I trim these so that it is just right behind the thorax. So I'll go to right there. Nope, not there. Right there. Okay. Okay. And then all I'm going to do after this is I'm going to use a little bit of nail polish. Just do a tiny bit on those thread wraps. Touch on top. Touch on bottom. As soon as that dries, I'm going to use my dubbing brush and I'm going to rough this up down here. Give it a little more bugginess. And that's it.